Good afternoon. I wanted to talk you through my latest run at the structure prototype, which has been influenced a lot by feedback that I've received from you guys over the past week or so on the previous structure prototype or site building prototype, and also some interviews that I did earlier this week when I took the prototype out and showed it to a bunch of people who aren't currently Drupal users, but who I think, if we get D7UX right, should be exactly the kind of users that would be able to come and create a reasonably sophisticated site using Drupal. And those kind of people are people with a certain amount of web nous. They're not kind of absolute rank amateurs. They're people who kind of work in the web field in one way or another, but not as developers. So they have a bit of an understanding of the way websites come together, but they probably have never created their own database in the past. So we have to assume, I guess, that they've had this installed for them, and that they are coming now to build their site using Drupal. So there was one really important thing that I learned from going out and talking to these people, and that was that we really need to help them make something really quickly. Doesn't necessarily have to be the actual thing that they want to be making in the end, but we need to be able to get them to a point where they can make a site and have a look through and evaluate how difficult it is to use Drupal really, really quickly. So they need to get something up within half an hour, basically. Having done that and got a sense of what Drupal can do and how easy or hard it is to use Drupal, we can then, they'll expect them to come back and invest a little bit more time gathering some more knowledge and understanding and skills, and being able to then get Drupal to sort of bend to their will, and sort of work their way through the learning curve and understand more of how Drupal sites come together and the technical architecture and all that kind of thing. So the best way to do that, I think, is going to be to do a lot of work in terms of just minimizing the number of choices that are available, and putting a lot of structure in place for them already to choose from to get to that I've got something built point very, very quickly, and then to go back and sort of investigate how it came together and how they can do more things to it. So a way of doing this would be to present a selection of different types of sites that they could create, and what we need to do is to add into here the option to sort of create something from scratch as well for those of us who know more about Drupal and putting something together. So we might be able to put together a blog, for example. There's a few thoughts on what a blog might be, or an events page, or an events site rather. So let's go through on this events site. So it talks a little bit about what's here. We'd be able to have a quick preview of an events site. And then to go in and actually build it, it would land me here on this kind of messy looking at the moment, but not properly designed yet, sitemap page, which shows all of the different components that would be in that event site. So we've got homepage, schedule with sessions, speakers and biographies, registration form, an about page, and a travel and accommodation page. And this is kind of a little bit familiar to what you would have seen last time. You can delete those pages, you can add another page underneath as a child of that page. You can go in, you can edit those pages. There's some new things over here, including a preview, a save and close button. I don't really know if that's necessary there or not, but it fits with the rest of the template, so I've got it there for the time being. And this idea of a library as well. And along here, I'll talk about that in a second, we've got sitemap, which is the sort of page view that we saw in the last prototype. Page detail, which we'll have a look at in a moment. The list view, which again is similar to what you saw in the last prototype. The library view, which is what I've kind of added into this prototype as the place where you would go to look at lists of and create blocks and content types and potentially views and whatever other things that you can put into your Drupal site, depending on what modules you've got enabled. So that all happens in library view. And then we've got taxonomy view, which is where you go in and create and manage all of your taxonomies. So let's keep going and say that we want to go in and have a look at this biography page. So let's click on here. And this moves us into the page detail view. This is the first time I've gone through here, so it's showing me a little bit of a very long and difficult to read, and would obviously need some editing. introduction to, basically this is talking me through the difference, what template page is, a content type, rather than the actual node itself. Telling me about what you know, how, what I need to do now, what I don't need to do, and some links through here potentially for intermediate and advanced people. So let's get rid of that, and then we go to the actual page site, and we can see then the different components that are on this site, and these would be here already kind of designed for this particular content type on this particular site. This is something that we need to do as a sort of design and creation exercise that would come out of the box with Drupal. So I've got a little bit of a reminder up here just to kind of help me, but let's do a couple of things. Let's delete this image, which is just clicking here. Do I want to delete it? Yes. There it is, it's deleted. I can shift over there. I guess whether or not it shifts would be dependent on the theme that we're using. Let's move this navigation over here now, so we can just click on here to move. This is a little bit of a, this is a static prototype, so it's a little bit sort of more clunky. So as I've selected it, it then shows me the regions where I can potentially put it, and let's put it over here. So we'll drag that over and pop it in there. Lovely. So that moves over there. We've got our navigation in place, and we're pretty happy with that at the moment. So let's save that and go back to our sitemap page, and you can see that this has changed colour now to sort of indicate that I've been in and I've got that to the point that I actually want it to be. So I can see at a glance what I've got left to do, what I need to sort of look at and confirm before I'm ready to put my site live. So again, kind of similarly to what we looked at last time, you can sort of edit the structure here quite easily. So we can get rid of pages like that, add new ones in just with, you know, with the plus like we saw in the last version. And again, similarly, we've got this list view which lets us reorder if we've got a longer list and get rid of things, and we can actually go into more detail that I think that I've not put in my, I'll put a link in for my prototype, which is annoying. Basically, again, similar to what we saw last time, where I can expand this and it will show me all of the regions and what's in the regions, and I can access that to move them up and down and edit them, which for probably most of us we won't be doing. We will do that on the page view rather than on the list view, but if for accessibility reasons you need to be able to move those things around without using drag and drop, then this is going to be a good place for you to do that. Okay, so let's shift back over to the map view again. Oh, this view, I'm in a bit of a loop. I might have to jump out here for a second and show you just quickly. Okay, full screen. Yeah, so there you go. This is those sort of detailed regions that I was talking about and being able to move them up and down, which is more or less what we saw last time. And then the other thing that I just wanted to show you quickly, oh, there's not really that much in there to show you, is this idea of the library view. And again, this would be where you would be able to go in and learn a little bit about, and actually then sort of start creating and editing blocks and content types and you know, other different types of content that you can create based on modules that you've added would all be able to happen here. So that is kind of it, I think, for now. For those people who are interested, I'm using Balsamiq this time to do this prototype. I used OmniGraffle last time. They're both kind of good in different ways. And Balsamiq kind of gave me a free license to have a bit of a play around with this. I think that's about it. So lots more left to do. I'm kind of liking the way that this is going in. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are on it. And hopefully I will talk to you at the Sunday Structure Summit, which is this Sunday, the 7th of June at 1400 GMT. Find out about that on the D7UX.org website if you haven't already, and we're going to all get together and talk through this and get to the bottom of what it is that Structure Site Builder is going to be and how we can make it happen. Okay then, I'd better go for now. Thank you very much. Bye.